Yo, what up folks, TrevCG here with another spicy one. With Phyrexia, or will be one coming out fairly soon. One of the decks that's kind of like people are talking about a bit more is Hammer. Now, this is a equipment-based deck featuring Colossus Hammer. Simply equip the creature gets +7/+10 and loses fly, but it has a quick cost of 8 and you try and get around that. And we have some ways to do it in Explorer, but the primary way in Pioneer is Sigarda's Aid, which we don't have yet. Hopefully we'll get that in Eldritch Moon, but there was also a new card spoiled in Phyrexia or will be one called Kemba, Kha Enduring. And so once Phyrexia comes out, Hammer is a deck that we'll come back and revisit. My idea is basically to show what the deck looks like now in Explorer. And then later on down the line, we'll get Sigarda's Aid and have the deck kind of up to speed, and we'll see like how competitive it can truly be, whether it can crack that like tier 1 or tier 2 of the format. But for now, hey, this is a bit of a spicy one, and let's take a look. So, we have Hammer, 4 copies, of course. We have a couple of ways to find Hammer. We've got Fighter's Class here. When Fighter's Class enters the battlefield, search your library equipment card, reveal it, put into your hand. And then the real hard bit is actually getting it equipped. So, the class equips, for 3 mana you can make it so that the equip abilities cost 2 less to activate, which brings it down to 6, which is still pretty expensive. So, how are we actually getting the Hammer on? And so we have Resolute Strike. Single white mana instant, target creature gets +2/+2 until the turn. If it's a warrior, you may attach an equipment you control to it. So the ideal start is that you play a turn 1 warrior. We've got a couple here. We've got Fireblade Charger, which when it dies, deals damage to any target, equals its power, and then it also has haste when it gets equipped, which is pretty powerful when you're, smacking on an extra 10 points of damage. And then the second option is Flamebed Adept as a creature that gets evasion, and is a warrior, but because unfortunately Colossus Hammer makes things lose flying, we have some other options. So worth bearing that in mind. But the idea is you go turn 1, one of these, turn 2, make the Hammer, cast Resolute Strike, start swinging in for 10. Alright, okay, cool. So what else are we going to do? Because we're not always going to have this Resolute Strike, and so we have Nahiri and Halvar. So Halvar, 4 mana, creatures you control that are enchanted or equipped have double strike, which obviously doubles the output of whatever creature's attacking with the hammer. And then at the beginning of each combat, you may attach an aura or equipment attached to a creature you control to target creature you control. Okay, let's see re-equip, gives you double strike. Fair enough, but you only need it to be equipped. What Nahiri does, 2 red white, +1, create a 1/1 core warrior creature token. You may attach an equipment you control to it. And then -2, look at the top 6 cards, reveal a warrior or equipment card. Hey, 2 things we're looking for. From among them, put it into your hand. And then -3 deals damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to twice the number of equipment you control. And so, along with Hammer, we have a few other pieces of equipment floating around. So 4 copies of Hammer itself. We've got 1 copy of Shadow Spear, which of course has the ability to give a creature trample and lifelink. And you can mess around with these numbers a little bit. We have more of the Skyclaves, which enter the battlefield attached to target creature control, and then gives it flying. And then we have... Now, you lose flying, you give it flying. These contradict each other, but it's layering, so whichever happens first. So if you have the hammer equipped first, it loses flying, and then when you get more of the Skyclaves, it gives it flying again. Kind of like the interaction with Inkmoth Nexus, if you reactivate the Inkmoth, it gets flying again in Modern, which is obviously where the hammer deck has prevailed the most, I suppose. And so those also you play around with Nahiri and Halvar. And then we have a number of other creatures. We've got a couple of copies of Portable Hole for some removal. We've got a Lion Sash and other equipment here that also attracts to the graveyard, which is quite handy that you can kind of dig for a little bit. And maybe you need to go grab it with player class versus something like Greasefang. Seasoned Howlerblade is a warrior which is kind of resilient. He has that discard ability to give it Destructible versus Wrath and other interaction and removal. And we've got Twin Blade Geist as a 2 mana 1/1 double striker with it's a warrior, so you can give it the hammer with the Resolute Strike. We'll find off Nahiri and stuff. So there's a lot of inbuilt synergy, but it's not as powerful as it will be. And so we're going to take this into some ranked matches. Very first though, so the mana base, 2 copies of the Bugbear. We're not playing any of Cave, just because it's quite expensive to activate. We want to be doing stuff with our mana. It's a little like there's a chance of being able to like use the Den of the Bugbear and still use our mana to do other things. So Curve is quite cheap. We have 4 Mutavolts, which are of course warriors as well. The 4 Sacred Foundry, 4 Needle Pathway, 4 Inspiring Vantage and 2 Battlefield Forge, just a flurry of red-white lands, and then 1 Plains to find. And we've also got a Sekens in here, which makes spirits that can carry equipment too, which is handy. The actual sideboard, so... Oh, this is slightly messier than I would like. 2 copies of Fragmentize. Lots of CMC, well, lots of low CMC permanents that can get swept up by things like temporary lockdowns. I haven't a good answer for those. Obviously doubles up in a lot of matchups too. A couple of portable holes versus aggro decks. We've got 2 copies of Rest in Peace versus Graveyard strategies. We have a single Valor Stance along with 2 copies of Fateful Absence. Valor Stance is a nice one because you can protect your own creatures as well as destroy your opponents if you need to. Fateful Absence dealing with problematic creatures and planeswalkers for you. I also have a couple of Apostle of Purifying Light as like a nice thing to equip to versus like black decks that kind of rely heavily on black removal. And then some kind of, well, 1 extra Nahiri for matchups where, hey, more mid-range control stuff with an extra threat. And then similarly, in that vein, we have 3 copies of Fable of the Mirror Breaker. If in doubt, play the best card in the format. I guess. One of them, hey, one of them. So, I'm going to hop into some rant games. At this point, I normally say, hey, if you're interested in Explorer content, do please subscribe to the channel. I try and cover as many different decks as possible. Phyrexia All Be One is coming out around the corner, and I have a ton of stuff planned. Should be good times. And we're going to hop into rant. I will see you in some matches. And we're off to the races. Alright, first match. See how we do. Maybe turn to our opponent. That'd be cool. I mean, pseudo turn 2 in that we're attacking on turn 2. We have the Resolute Strike, we have a Colossus Hammer. Hallowed Blade, we have Fire's Class to kind of like pull us back into things. The one nice thing about Lion Slash, it gives us a creature we can tutor for off a Fight of Class, which can be quite nice. If we have an XL piece of removal for us using Hallowed Blade, this gets a little bit worse. What I'm also wondering about is whether I want to make the hammer now or not. Sequencing wise, it makes sense to play it now because obviously it frees up our mana for later. Obviously it leaves out invulnerable, kind of makes it obvious what we're doing. I'm going to do it though. Leave this open to be able to go turn 2 Hallowed Blade and then turn 3 Resolute Strike and then maybe get this Fighter's Class down to go pick up something else to do. But we don't know what our opponent's doing. A little risky. Forest. Very, very nice forest. Alright, appears to be mono. Could still be red green monsters, but probably mono green. So this is obviously like, not a super fast start. Make the Vantage here. Plays using Hallowed Blade. Last turn. And so we have the Resolute Strike for the Hallowed Blade. And then the turn after that, because we have our 3rd land now, we can then maul the Skyclaves, give it flying, and get in over the top. We'll see how that actually goes. This Resolute Strike is also an instant, so nice stuff. Yeah, if you so the way the timestamps work, if you play the Morse Skyclaves first and then equip the hammer, then it loses flying still. Whereas if you do it this way around, it loses flying and then will gain flying. Well, that's what I'm told by people on the internet. You know. You can maybe trust. 2 mana open here. I don't think they have a ton. You could have like Beseiji, that'd be kind of brutal. I'm just gonna go to combat and attack. I'm fairly fine discarding this Mutant Vault, I think. We played like this so we can go to Fighter's Class after we play the Resolute Strike. So we needed the extra coloured land. They're kind of having to think about this here. I feel like they do have Beseiji, given the way they're holding priority. But that's fine, because we can go tutor up another hammer. That's the one piece of interaction we have to be afraid of. I'm trying to think what else it could be. I think that's the most likely thing. Unless they have like a fight card. They're gonna block. Fine, we'll activate to go as destructible. Then I'm gonna. This exchange is fine. I can do this Resolute Strike at any time, so I'm just gonna play the Fighter's Class for now. We can figure out what we want to tutor up. As the Lion Slash gets a creature, I still think they want to Beseige. I still do think that they want to They have Besage here, so probably getting the extra hammer is the best bet. Just so you've got a backup one, but it is kind of tempting. We have the Mauler Skycoats already. I think doing this plays around them having more interaction. There's a question, do I play the second hammer? I think that's better than holding up this, because this gets played around. This gives us the opportunity to potentially hammer plus more next turn. Yeah. Don't have trample with this, so there's no downside to no downside to advantage isn't what we wanted. Kind of fine just running this. Potentially want to keep that Inspiring Advantage to hand to pitch, but I don't think, and they are actually on the red green monsters deck, rather than mono green, which has started picking up playing Priest in some variants. Let's go here. Like if they decide to play, there's not really a removal I'm worried about. Anything. All right, Chariot. Let's board up. Get we draw here. Geist. Alright, time to see if this works how we want it to. Just make sure. Does have fly. That's okay. Yeah. So by red green monsters, I do really mean like the red green boat deck. So Exca's Chariot, they have Sky Sovereigns, which they might have to block here as the one consideration. Yeah. So now they can Chariot, but I don't think they can attack and block with it. Interesting. They're just gonna pass. Yeah. That buys them a ton. Do you want to? I'm not worried about this dying. I think we're fairly immune. We're going to combat and attack first. We can play our spirit. We can play and level this up. There's a slight question of, okay, how many Sky Sovereigns have they got in their hand? How long can they store us out for? Because now they're going to be able to play something else. Maybe activate the Chariot. Well, actually, to be fair, they need to still spend the mana to play the Sky Sovereign. I don't really respect their ability to remove the Hallow Blade. I think doing this is totally fine. There is the concession. Alright, alright. So, post-board, they're going to have some more ways to interact with our kind of plan. Obviously, downside of having artifacts of enchantments is that you get disenchanted. Post-board. So, versus red green, there's a problematic artifacts. They don't have a bunch of, like, one-drops. Like, they have elves, but... I'm not too worried about their ones and twos. I think I do want a Harry. Think about this. Okay, I want Fateful Absence. I think I want the Balance Strengths because it kills most of the creatures or helps ours survive. It plays well in the matchup in general. I'm kind of torn on these. It does kill Chariots. I think I do want to bring the Enfragmentizers in. I'm not too worried about these portable holes. Oh, let's have a look what we want to take out. So, how about giving the creatures double strike is fairly good. Like we're a little slow versus them. I'm not too worried about having this Lion Sash here. If these are all kind of fine. More Skyclave is very important. I'm going to kill a Halvar and at a Hiri, but be close. I might not even do either. The Shadow Spear. The Season Halibrate surviving versus Bone Crusher Giant, because the red green deck's not playing tons of removal, but it's definitely worthwhile. The Twin Blade Geist is a bit worse. I think I'm going to trim here a little bit. And I think I want to get. Armor's just big, right? Which helps a lot. I think I'm going to do this. Let's see. I don't have a ton of experience in the matchup. I've not played a lot with the Hammer deck in Explorer, would you believe it? But hey, we'll work some stuff out. Let's see. Bit of a slow hand on our end. We have the Valor Stance with Talon Blade, but we only got one color of mana. I think we can do better. Yeah. I'm mulligan. Alright, here we have Resolute Strike with Hammer. We have Mutavault as a creature, then we've got a Fighter's Class. It's kind of awkward sequence-wise, we also have a Portable Hole. I think I might get rid of the Fighter's Class, even though we can just get a creature. Just because the rest of the hand kind of does everything we want. In theory. Alright, they have an Elf, which makes me feel good about having this Portable Hole here. Take your Foundry down first. Alright. So far, so good. Okay, so okay, they have a pack leader. Fair enough. We have the Barcast anyway. Kind of want to get the Mutavault down this turn. But the Mutavault plus Hammer thing is not as good. This only happens once and then it gets unequipped. I maybe want to go Fighter's Class for... Might be a pretty awkward game. Can't always have it. Just one equip. I actually want to get the Shadow Spear, because I think we might have to raid. They might have answers to the first card, the first Hammer. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be behind on board by the time we get to actually attack and do things. We've kind of taken a turn off with the Mutavault Fighters Class stuff. This reduces equip cost by 2 once you level it up once. They're not putting a ton of pressure, but doing it, ceasing this way, obviously they don't have another 1-drop. The Vantage now is also not great. We want to get the Mutavault into play. This we could play and equip the same turn, no problem. If we level this up, so I think I actually want to do this. Oh, this feels kind of bad. So just like so far behind on board. But next time we can go animate Mutavault, make Hammer, make... Alright, all of a sudden we're kind of running out of time. Oh, the Fire Blade... The charge is actually an excellent draw. Not do that. That's kind of saved us a little bit. Now we have a 14/14 lifelink trample guy. And when it dies, it deals damage. So we're kind of hoping they don't have interaction for the Hammer and the Shadow Spear here. And we should be all good. 2 cards in hand. Hold your breath a little bit. The Shadow Spear tutoring up to the trample lifelink just to let us race and get a life total back from behind is pretty nice, pretty nice. Alright, cool. See you in match number 2. Alright. Second match. See what we're up against. Get to be on the play. Nice. Have Hammer, Charger, Geist, and more. Which is, like, in its own right, fairly potent. So in spite of not having this way to equip the Hammer, this is the real test, I think. Without Nahiri to kind of, like, make something to equip it to, we're going to go this way around. And without Resolute Strike, how well will the deck do? Can we still hold up? Blood Crypt's a little worrying, to be honest. Get in here. So red black's a plethora of removal, and so even like a 3/3 double strike flying, which might not be that potent. Okay, they're gonna Croxa here, which means that we're not having to worry about holding a Bone Crusher Giant. Do the massive blowout and win me more Twin Blade Ice. I guess it's the most damage. I think that's the best plan. Doing it here. There's some kill stuff, but we can always re-equip later. Yeah, we're gonna do this way. Maximize our damage output. And next turn, I may well be looking for another spear with the Fights class. That being said, some red-black decks do play a Braid. Ooh. That does just kill a creature here. Halvar's an interesting one. Super Summon Vigilance, when it dies, transfers out its hand. You know. That's a fighter's class. This is an interesting one because it's going to be a chest of how many creatures we can kind of get through. It might be a matchup where we want to actually grab Lion Sash. We're not under a lot of life total pressure yet, that we could easily just untap, play Sheoldred. This would get us, basically it's like, we can tutor for another creature if we want to. I'm going to get the spear. I'm going to play the spear, conceal the hammer. I'm not showing it yet. But now, beat them down to 11. So leveling this lets us equip this for free, which is nice. So it makes the Maul cost 2 to equip. 2. Well, hey. Do you actually want to play this? I think this is a May as well. I don't think I want to attack, because I still have to discard if I want to have this target in the graveyard. It flips here, but if it attacks, we can kill it still. I'm not overly worried. We're going on to a little tricky. I like the cards we have in hand, basically. Okay. Shaman. If we click here and it gets blown up, are we dead? Eclipse for white and white, mind. We can still do this and play the Geist. I think we kind of have to try this. Okay, good. That in itself is a good sign. Now the race is on. Yeah, I think this is better than making the backside of Halva. Alright, we'll see. So they can't discard enough cards to power up Croxa, but it could be enough to be problematic. The upside of this is we get to shoot something if something bad happens. The 5-mana ability, you get to pick a creature to block a creature that you attack with. which means we could draw, kind of distract a little bit. Still not really interested in blocking here. We get an 8. I think that's fine. Yeah, and we still have the lifelink. We can still, in theory, pass it around depending on what they do. The Harvester presents an issue. How many cards off it? 1, 2, 3. I need 2 more. I'll put 1 in here. I'm going to get rid of Thoughtseize. Okay. I'm going to giant away that. Are they just dead? Yep, okay, cool. Nice. Nice, nice. Alright, we get game 1. This matchup might be a little bit tougher. So, Apostle's decent here, but obviously does still die to all the red removal, which they do have some. It's kind of playing a bit of a, not necessarily a guessing game, but a, okay. What are we going to do? I like Nahiri. Fable actually lets us draw towards I like Resolute Strike game plan. This portable holes are going to come out. Things I'm worried about, like, do we want to like have Faithful Weapons in the deck? I don't particularly like Halvar, just because it's all kind of telegraphed face up, but it was also quite slow. Yeah. I'm about to BRB real quick, so I'm gonna queue this up once I make 2 cuts, which I think are gonna be 2 copies of Spin by Geist. Alright, well, I hope this is alright. Alright, whoops. Back in time to keep this. It's not like a super sketchy hand. Leveling it with red mana should be fine for us to just open up with this Raja. Pretty happy to keep any hand with creatures in Fable. Oh, interesting. Interesting. This is a twist I wasn't expecting. The the half of the follow up is quite good versus the Hallow Blade, but we kind of have to play into it, I think. Do we? Yeah, -X, -X. They don't grow big enough, unless we can force them to use on the Fable. I don't like the tempo play of Swinger just like letting them kind of do everything out. Yeah, I think we can lean into the Fable a bit more. Not like we're doing a ton with the Hallow Blade as it is at the minute. Funny, the Goblin off of here actually maybe makes us able to straight up equip the hammer. I will see though. That is fine. Let's go to Battlefield Forge. Let's see then. Are they going to activate Blood Titan Harvester? Are they just going to attack? Are they going to what? I hope they attack. That'd be great. Okay. Now it's turn. Huh. I don't know if they attack. If they block, I'm probably... Ooh, okay. I think I legitimately ditched the Fighters class. No, I think we ditched the hammer. The Fighters class got just a bit more value over the course of the game. Being able to break through the Harvester now is super sick, and we also get to make the Fable. Alright, well. To have our cake and eat it a bit here. Summit. It does, I was going to say, it doesn't accidentally turn on Croxer. Not quite yet. I am afraid of them passing with 4 mana up. Oh dear. Okay, that is scary. Okay, and they've got to stop on my upkeep. No? I feel bad wanting to keep all of these. I think we can discard the Apostle. We already have creatures in play. I think they have like a Buggish Giant or something like that already. Drawing the Slave Foundry is actually kind of fine. Uh, I'm going to play Shadow Spear, try and equip to the Shadow Blade. I guess the price is much, much smaller when we can just discard the land to the Season Shadow Blade to protect it. And destroy the artifact. You damage the Goblin. Pretty good. Fair play. We'll keep the land in hand. We're getting the Fable Flip next turn. Which is kind of nice. Would be cool if we had like equipment in our package to give the Fable Flip haste, but obviously it's not something we're like focusing on. It's not something we're doing on our main deck. Okay. Alright, so that's extra card in the graveyard. That gives them 4. Not quite 5 for Croxer. That's still a card away. If they have like Thoughtseize land here, that'd be pretty unfortunate. Trespass is fine. Hallowed Blade plays well against it. A little sad we're not going to get to Shadow Blade back. The bonus Fables, pretty nice. I'll offer the attack. Let's just put the... Okay, cool. I was going to say that I would put the Crocs into the graveyard. Oh, well, put the Crocs into it being online. If they have like a Fable push here, like we're in a similar position. But hey, we'll see, we'll see. There's a Bone Crusher Giant. Sure. Land still off of Croxer, only by a card. We come into the red zone with a Trespasser, okay? Get to eat at us a bit, do some damage. It's a question of do they have an answer for the flipped reflection? It should provide a lot of value. I'd think about whether I want to let this thing hit the graveyard. Okay, we'll discard 2 here. Nice. I don't really want to give them... They're on 15. I don't want to put the card in the graveyard for Croxer for free, but they could just draw like a kill spell. I value the Hallowed Blade a bit more as a blocker, just to kind of keep the Graveyard Trespasser at bay. We'll see how this works out. So these treasures might end up being super useful later. I don't mind discarding one of the fighters classes. They're double attacking here. They do have manlands back to block with. Alright, they're gonna exile a hammer. So if I block Bone Crusher Giant, get to keep... Oh, we can keep the Hallowed Blade alive. I'm blocking one, I should be blocking the Graveyard Trespasser. But if I block... Take 4, go to 8, they bring back Croxer, we stay at 8, discard one of these, we untap Flip Fable. We're going to get Croxer anyway, so I think going to 5 is a mistake. Basically, it comes down to. Does involve us discarding both copies of Fighters class, which I am alright with. Okay. We'll see, we'll see. Other thing about these treasures that we might accidentally be able to activate a Mountland. Would be cool. Alright, class goes. We draw another one. This class can go get us. A more, but we can't. Or we can go get a more player more, but we can't then. Wait. You take 3 off of this. I think we make them do the math. We could grab the Lion Sash. That's an interesting one. They don't have any cards in their graveyard. We don't have any creatures in ours. The more threatens lethal. Is kind of the deal, right? Well, let's see if they do a removal spell. So this is like, did they draw Bone Crusher to try it? Doesn't look like it. Hey, we got there, we got there. Nice, nice. Win versus Red Black. You know what? This has gone surprisingly well. Alright, well, see you in match 3. Alright, here we go. In with match 3. This is going pretty well, you know. I was like, bit on the fringe and stuff, and here we are getting people. We'll keep this. Got the cards we want. See how it pans out. Red Black again makes us sound a little bit weaker, just because we're a little less comfortable kind of going all in on turn 2. But we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. Also, like, a little weak to hand disruption. So we have creatures. Ah, that's a Cauldron Pavilion. Right, okay. Well, in that case... Well... we have them all the Skyclaves, actually. I think this is very reasonable. Just to run out here. See if they block. They do. Alright. If they have the Fatal Push, they take 11, so... It's not the end of the world. Them having to claim the first one is actually what we're afraid of. Okay. Well, let's make the attack. No block. I'm gonna be mana efficient. I'm gonna play the Twin Blade Geist out. I'm so worried about claiming the firstborn. This is actually... Why did I think of that after I went in on it? Then pitch Village Rights Deadly Dispute. Because they can just grab it, hit me with it, and then sack it, and all of a sudden we're dead. But, hey, okay, cool. Phew. Let's think about that post-board then. I definitely use Portable Holes. I want the Fragmentizers. We're running against Sacrifice. I think I also want the Rest in Pieces. What don't I love? I don't think we need a Hearing. Don't think we need any of these. Maybe the Apostles. We could think about. Evasion is important. I think the Twin Blade guys are again a little bad here. Season Hallowed Blade plays around some of their removal. Can deal with like one interaction with like a Mayhem Devil. Lion Sash as well. We have a bunch of actually. Apostle we're playing for the Pro Black that has this Exile card ability as well, kind of attached to it. Whereas like if we were just after the Exile ability, you could play Lion Sash. Also have 8 cards I want to cut out. Realistically, it's going to be like Nahiri, Halvar to cut down our curve a little bit, and then trim some more 2s. Do you think Twinblade Geist is the worst of these? Yeah, this is where I am. We've not actually seen Nahiri yet, but it is good. I'm curious how the deck will change a little with the addition of our new cat Overlord. It's like a core outfitter that equips to just itself or for other cats. Well, this is the problem with the sideboard cards, right? It's like, okay, so we got our sideboard cards. Is this good enough? The answer is probably yes, but it doesn't feel super great. Kind of relying on top of a deck a bit. We're going to keep this though. As the Thoughtseize the Rest in Peace, that already is a bit of a bummer. They see lands and not that many spells. They took that though, so I don't know if they have another hand disruption piece for the rip. But hey, the Maul's a good draw because it does something. They're just not worried about Rest in Peace. Could be the case. Or their own hand isn't that good, and therefore then more worried about being able to deal with all the last stuff. I'm gonna slam this. Just reduces the chance of taking it down to 0. They shouldn't have great answers in black-red for enchantments. Traditionally, this is fairly safe. Alright, we got a Bard class. So now we want to go probably use this to tutor it for a creature. We're gonna go grab our Lion Sash. Can't play it this turn. We are gonna run out this Shadow Spear though. That in itself is fine. Alright, Deadly Dispute. Okay. So I can take the Lion Sash, or I can take the Maul. But us having a creature is kind of weak. At this point, I'd rather them take the Maul. But hey. The Lion Sash obviously is not up to much, other than just being a body to put equipment on. Alright, we've drawn a hammer, but I don't necessarily want to reveal it. I'd like to get this into play. Oh, they have the treachery, yeah. We'll see. Alright, they have a claim. They can get rid of the Lion Sash. They're gonna hit us for a little bit first. Gain some life back. That's okay. I would much rather than use the claims now than when we're trying to hammer something without having an OTK. Mutavault. We'll level this up. I'm going to play the hammer to get out of our hand. That's fine. Mayhem Devil. You can't quite force a block yet. Kind of forced to play through their removal. The treasures do. We force them to use their resources. Oh, they have a Fatal Push. This is okay. No, they're going more aggressive. Sure. All right. I can't want this in play to activate. The thing I'm actually most afraid of them doing here is, like, instead of messing around with Witch Oven, this Manland should be getting active. That's what I would be. That's what I'm third about right now from my end. The turn. And we have a Resolute Strike. Maybe even the task of activating this is worrying, but it does put us in a nice position for later. Okay, they've got tokens, they can then sacrifice those tokens, so going to 5, and then they have 1, 2, 3, 4 damage on command. This affects the mass a little bit, but the hammer's not going to help. I'm going to have to say go here, see if they just send it. That's tough. Let's pick him up. Okay. We are dead on board. I'm fine with that. I like kind of want these ape absences, but not overly honest. It might be better than Impostles. Obviously, like, wasn't a great game for it here, but it isn't doing a ton. No, the Pro Black's actually great, right? Lion Sash is good individually, but like looks a little silly when you got Rest of Peace to play. These are good. Am I worried about next list and stuff? Not really. I think we don't need these. Basically, we just going to outpace, get ahead of Mayhem Dale. That's what we're relying on. Alright, game number 3. Gets me on the play. Think we keep? Yeah. I have mulliganed less aggressively in this match in general. Like the last couple of hands I could have sent back. But I think that's okay. I want to get rid of this, but I kind of want to get the Hallowed Blade into play first. It's weak to specifically claim the firstborn this time. I think that is alright. So is like they can take charge here, try and kill both our creatures, but let's see what they have. They are reading. Howard kill here. Go ahead and ping. Okay, that makes me feel better, because now I can go ahead and fire off the portable hole. Still have this fragmentized if we get like another problematic thing. At this point, I still kind of want to bar class for a creature. I think I want to get the Lion Sash, which is now more active because we're not resting piecing things. This also hoses what they're doing a decent amount. Let's see. It's like Mayhem Devil here is like go blank. Exiles our graveyard as well. I think that's fine, and we still just want to keep the Lion Sash over the course of the game. It just because it also hoses them. I think that's fine. They've got 4 cards left in hand. No, what? Well, we only have 1 activation up. I think I played the Mute Vault instead of leaving this up just because they haven't committed to the board yet. And I have faith in the Mute Vault being relevant. Massacre for 1 is great for them. Yeah, I don't have a graveyard. Let's exile something. Let's get rid of the go blank. Sure. Gonna make a big deal. Now we have cards in my yard. Yeah, they've boarded to be a bit more controlling. We are... Ooh. I mean, at some point it's gonna be relevant. But we're quite a few cards away from that right now. They gotta know something's up, surely. This is just a pump spell too. They can sacrifice the Mayhem Devil, but they don't get anything out of it. And us shifting this is more important than us having the Resolute Strike. Ow. Alright, we've got 2 Mutavaults. Let's go. 3 cards. Yeah, the Overblank was pretty brutal. Gonna fire off food. We keep this in hand. Do we think they got like double fatal push? I think we just like go off to the races. I think we legitimately want them. Are they going to force discard us to anything else? If we keep a card in hand, they might do. Whereas, like, if we draw another like Resolute Strike, we still want like an equipment before we play that. Yeah, well, that's a little awkward. All right, we're at 16. They're at 11. Let's see what's up. What do we use? The Lion Slasher's gone. Hammer's gone. Oh. Alright, what was the other go blank to get other card out of their hand? They're gonna start attacking here, which scares me. We haven't seen the green splash yet, so now we can double animate and then go get the Hallowed Blade out. Downside is we can't protect it with cards. Means it is dead to fluff in the wind from the Mayhem Devil. Trophy. Yeah? Yeah. That's annoying. We've got 1 card left. We just have to play out the Hallowed Blade. You probably lose it for free. Any creature they have kills it. But, they are on cold mode. Okay. That snipes the Hallowed Blade out and provides them an advantage. This one might be over. It's looking pretty tough. Down to 10, facing down 8 plus. In theory, could we could animate the Mutavault to block here, but we need to live another turn to have a chance of winning the game anyway. And the Mutavault's kind of crucial as winning. We don't have any actual good draws, so we are effectively just dead. That's good that I'm bored. This will get bigger, and then my hand will thing us. Let them finish it off. But this has been Boros Hammer. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Deck's very, very sweet. It's still a little fragile, as you can see here in Explorer, but getting some new tools, so hey, may get a little better. Obviously, Cigar Zeta is the card that makes it that kind of nuts. We'll maybe get that in Shadows of Innistrad Remastered, because it was originally printed in Eldritch Moon. And then we are getting a couple of pieces in Phyrexia, which will be out in a couple of weeks. I'm super hyped for. Gonna try and maybe hit up a pre-release. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. All support's been amazing. We just hit 300 subs a week ago, and that's been just incredible, honestly. And so thank you all so much. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Peace soup.